Most people in our world do not pay attention to this one thing, and it causes them to constantly be stressed out, to constantly create undesirable circumstances in their life, and to ask themselves, why is this happening to me? But if you're on this channel, I know that you want to be a conscious creator. You want to create your life by design. You want to create the results that you want to see in your life. And you know that's a potential for you, and that's why you're watching this video. And if you want to do that, you want to make sure that you're taking care of this one thing, and that is your focus. What's up? What's going on? My name is Sabrina, and welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their minds to make their daydreams their real daily lives. If you're looking for a full transformation, feel free to check out our Everything You Need to Know in One group coaching program, Unleash Your Life, or private one-on-one mentorship. You can book a call to apply for those below. And if you want to join in on our free 5-day mind training bootcamp, that is linked below as well. And let's get into it. Quantum physics teaches us that the way in which electrons and atoms collapse into physical form is dependent on the state of consciousness that is observing them. Meaning, in simple normal person terms, the way in which our physical external results and reality is created is dependent on our internal state. State of consciousness is just a fancy word for our mindset, our awareness, what we have our awareness on. And it is what we have our awareness on is what determines how these atoms collapse into physical form. Atoms have the potential to collapse in an infinite number of possibilities, meaning you can create whatever reality it is that you want. There is an infinite number of possibilities that exist for you. That potential lives inside of each individual atom. And the way that these collapse into physical form, the way that your reality is created, is dependent on what? Your internal state. Your awareness, what your awareness is on, what your focus is on. So if everything that is manifested around you in your life is dependent on your internal state, and your mind's automatic thoughts and feelings and behaviors are programmed through repetition, your focus is the one primary thing that everything in your life boils down from. Who you show up in the world is dependent on your identity, which is dependent on how you view yourself, which is dependent on what you focus on about yourself. When you do or don't hit your goals is dependent on what actions you take, which is dependent on what state you are operating out of, which is how you feel about yourself in relation to your goals. And how you feel about yourself in relation to your goals is dependent on what you are focusing on about your goals. Everything stems from that one thing, your attention, your focus, what you are putting your awareness on. And what neuroscience teaches us is when we don't activate certain neural pathways, they break off, they go away. Meaning if we keep our focus and our attention on the positive things that are going in our lives, and we stop entertaining the doubt and the worry and the fear, what neuroscience teaches us is what fires together, wires together. And when we don't use it, we lose it. So if we think about the different neural pathways, the different thought streams that are entertaining the potential of you having what you want and the doubt and potential of you not having what you want, when we stop exercising these neural pathways, when we stop ourselves from thinking these thoughts and we put our focus on what we do want, these neural pathways break off. They don't exist for us anymore. We don't have to think about the doubt or the fear or the worry. Therefore, our focus isn't on it. Therefore, what we are putting our awareness on and what we are creating is what we do want. You can literally make your problems go away by diverting your focus away from them. You can literally create entirely new results for yourself by putting your focus and attention on what you do want. Now, this is not, don't mistake this for completely avoiding all of your problems and letting like your house catch on fire behind you and you're just smiling and acting like nothing's wrong. This is putting your focus on the solution to your problems. This is putting your focus and energy and awareness on having the identity of someone who no longer has these problems and continuing to practice this. And this is a practice, right? When you first try meditating for the first time, it would feel difficult for you. You have all these thoughts coming in, right? Your mind doesn't have much discipline to be able to control your thoughts. Your mind is like really the primary thing that you need to be focusing on and taking control in if you want to become the conscious creator of your life. And so it's going to take some practice to regulate your thoughts, to regulate the thoughts that come in and divert your focus and to keep your focus on what you do want. And sometimes we can't control what comes in our mind, but we can control what we keep our focus on, right? Our minds are so susceptible to outside noise. And so no matter who you're around, the people you're around, the media that might be around you, it's putting all these words and thoughts and images into our minds. Sometimes we can't control the thoughts that come in our mind, but what we can control is how long it stays there. We can notice it, see it for what it is, and remind ourselves, oh, this isn't what I want to create. I'm going to keep my focus on what I do want to create. I'm going to keep my focus on the possibility. I'm going to keep my focus on the knowing that it's here for me now. I'm going to keep my awareness on already having this goal, because that's what's going to collapse these atoms into this physical form. I want you to imagine just like a timeline in front of you, and imagine all of these different potential realities on this timeline. And I want you to imagine that whatever you put your awareness on, whatever reality you put your awareness on, is what is going to become the 3D movie screen of your life. From this, I want you to ask yourself, what have you been focusing on? What reality, what timeline have you been focusing on, putting your awareness on, and creating, making the movie of your life? And how can you, in what ways can you start to divert your focus into the reality that you do want to create? Switch up your environment, create environmental cues that you are already living in this reality, that you already have the success, you already have the fulfillment, you already have the car, the recognition, whatever it is that you're looking for, that you want to create for yourself. Put up vision boards around your home so that your mind is constantly immersed with images that are equal to this reality. Put a $100 bill on your nightstand to remind yourself that you do have lots of money. Switch up your environmental cues so that you can constantly remind yourself that you are in this reality. So you can constantly bring your focus and awareness and keep it on this reality. And the more you keep your focus here, and the less you keep it here, the more you are collapsing these atoms into this physical reality. The more you are identifying as this person who lives as this, right? Which in turn, your behaviors and your habits and your actions are going to follow in line with that. You're going to take action with that and actively create and manifest that into your life. But you creating this life is not going to happen from taking action alone, hard work alone, slaving yourself away. That's not what's going to create your desired results. You need to have your focus and awareness on that end goal while operating as the identity of someone who already has it. And notice, what are the things that constantly divert your focus? Are you constantly talking to the Debbie Downers that keep streaming doubt inside your mind? Are you tuning into media that makes you feel a little chaotic or might bring you down or might stress you out? What is your focus on? What is diverting your focus away from where you want to go? And how can you keep your focus on what you want to create? Because what you were putting your focus on is what you were feeding your energy into. What you were putting your focus on is what you were giving your power to. So what are you focusing on? How things didn't work out? How far you are from your goals? Or are you focused on the excitement of the potential here? Are you focused on the excitement of things coming into fruition? Because your focus is the most expensive thing that you own, and you cannot afford to put it on things that you do not want. And in order to train your mind to keep this focus, to hold this focus, because that's really the key. And that's where I see most of these ambitious dreamers mess up on, is they focus on what they want. And then their focus then diverts when they go on with their day, and they can't hold this focus. They can't hold this identity, which is why I put all of my students and members inside of our program, Unleash Your Life, on a mind training plan, which is a 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, of mind training practices to keep you focused, to keep immersing the subconscious mind with your new truths, so that your mind can finally be convinced of the positive potential that you can create for yourself. Because with all the outside noise, there is so much fear and doubt and worry being projected onto us all the time. So when you can set aside time, even just as little as 5 minutes each time, 5 minutes in the morning, in the afternoon, 5 minutes at night, 15 minutes total every single day. There's not a single one of you who can't do that. If you just set aside this little time, you will notice a drastic shift in the way that your thoughts come up, and the way that you feel every day, and the way that your identity starts to shift as you implement these mind training practices. So do what you can to immerse your subconscious mind, to keep your awareness on what you do want to create. Become aware when your focus becomes distracted and bring it back, so we can break off these old neural pathways that don't serve you, that have negative thoughts and feelings wired in for you. And leave an eye emoji in the comment section below so I know who made it to this point. Okay, if you like this video, if it helped you out in any way, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up to help the channel. Subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time I post a new one. And I will see you in the next video.